Identifying 15 common poisonous plants. Bittersweet nightshade is a very common weed and is especially dangerous to have around kids, as kids are attracted to its brightly colored berries. Relatively few people can identify bittersweet nightshade on their property. It is often confused with American bittersweet and Oriental bittersweet plants. Related to bittersweet nightshade and equally toxic is the Chinese lantern plant, which is commonly grown by crafts enthusiasts. The initial color of the pod's husks is green. This color changes to yellow late in the summer. By fall, it is a rich orange. The colorful pods are used in dried floral arrangements and wreaths. The ASPCA lists yellow dock as being toxic to dogs. Like jewelweed, however, yellow dock, or curly dock, is also a medicinal plant that can be used to counteract the discomfort caused by stinging nettles. Just roll one of the fresh, green leaves of dock between your thumb and forefinger to crush it into a juicy pulp, then rub it on your burning skin. Dock is easy to identify late in the season. The mature flower head of a yellow dock plant looks like coffee grounds after its blooms have dried and assumed a brown color. Lantana bears colorful flower clusters and is commonly used as an annual by gardeners in cold climates in hanging pots. Growers in warmer climates are familiar with lantana as a shrub, where this vigorous grower may even be invasive. But its invasiveness is not the only issue that comes with growing lantana. Its berries can be fatal if eaten. Lily of the valley is a traditional wedding flower. Its flowers are bell-shaped, think wedding bells, fragrant, and white, think innocence. From a landscaping perspective, though, lily of the valley is a problem because it is invasive. And if you have children playing in the yard, it's important to know that, despite its appearance, lily of the valley is a poisonous plant. Learn to identify it and make sure that this common ground cover is not growing in your yard unless fragrance trumps toxicity and invasiveness for you. Whenever you see the word bane in a plant name, chances are excellent that the plant is toxic. Baneberry, an herbaceous perennial that belongs to the buttercup family, comes in both a red and a white form. If its toxicity is not enough to scare you, stare into the spooky, doll's eyes, of the white form. Tansy was once a much valued herb that has now fallen from grace. It is a perennial that is often grown simply for its golden flowers, which are numerous and look like cute little buttons. But growers of livestock fear it as a poisonous plant. You, too, need to be aware of its toxic qualities if you have kids, dogs, or cats that play out in the yard. Not only should they not nibble on tansy, but even brushing up against it can give some people a rash. Foxgloves are tall, flowering biennials that grow well in a spot with dry shade. They bloom with multiple tubular, often freckled, flowers that form on a spike in colors ranging from purple to white. But they are among the most toxic specimens commonly grown on the landscape. Do not grow them if small children will be spending time in the yard. If you live in the country in eastern North America, you may have some mountain laurel growing wild in your backyard. Cultivars of mountain laurel are also sold at nurseries, including the beautiful minuet laurel. Like mountain laurel, azaleas and rhododendrons, Rhododendron spp, belong to the heath family and are toxic. Do not let pets nibble on any of these shrubs. Castor bean is a tropical plant widely grown as an annual in northern climates, often as a potted plant for patios, decks, or porches. The leaves, stalk, and seed heads are all attractive. The laxative, castor oil, is derived from castor bean plants, but so is the deadly toxin, ricin. Yew bushes can be grown in sun or shade. This plant's shade tolerance gives landscape designers an important option in challenging areas. But its fleshy, bright red berries contain a seed that is toxic. The needle-like leaves are also poisonous, so do not let pets or kids chew on them. Poison sumac can cause a rash if you touch the leaves or berries. It gives all sumac shrubs a bad name, despite the fact that most are quite harmless and beautiful in fall. Poison sumac has leaves made up of 5 to 13 leaflets, always an odd number, a red stem, and white oddly shaped berries. Poison ivy's rash-inducing quality comes from an oil called urushiol. While the leaves are the most toxic part of the plant, contact with any part, even when the plant is bare of foliage, can cause an allergic reaction. The oil is tenacious. If it gets onto your clothing or pet, you can wind up with a rash long after you leave the woods. Jewelweed is considered a natural remedy for poison ivy rash. Like poison ivy, jewelweed is very common. It is easy to identify jewelweed once you recognize its cornucopia-shaped flower with a distinct little tail. Easter lilies is a misnomer for these toxic trumpet-shaped flowers. You can thank the workers at a greenhouse somewhere for your being able to inhale their heady perfume at Easter in cold climates. The workers had to take great pains to trick them into blooming out of season. In fact, gardeners in northern climates cannot expect Easter lilies to bloom outdoors much earlier than July, when most of the other popular lilies flower. More problematic is the fact that Easter lilies are a deadly poison to cats, as are stargazer lilies. Like poison sumac and poison ivy, stinging nettles, as its name suggests, is not a plant you want to brush up against when working out in the yard. Your skin will burn with a painful itch for a short time after contact with its rash-inducing spines. Don't confuse stinging nettles with dead nettles, a perennial used as a ground cover in shady areas. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.